accounts, Lauren was entirely dependent on Kyle. And Kyle, it seemed, was not as wealthy as his blazer suggested. His assets were tied up in his own marital home. The pinnacle of their desperation came in the form of a late-night voicemail from Lauren. It was a rambling, tearful monologue about a vacation we took 5 years ago, full of remember how happy we were and I don't know how we got here. It ended with, "Anyway, I know things are weird right now, but I really need my half of the $2,850 security deposit from the landlord. Can you just send it to me?" The audacity was breathtaking. I didn't reply. The next day, her new lawyer, a much cheaper, less effective one than her first, sent Walter an email demanding the immediate release of personal funds. Walter's reply was a work of art. It was brief, professional, and utterly devastating. It stated that all marital assets were frozen pending a final judgment, that any further communication should be between counsel, and as a final flourish attached a single password-protected PDF file. The file was named Kyle. It contained the first 10 pages of their Instagram DMs. The requests for money stopped immediately. Final update: 6 months after I found the note, it was over. The divorce was finalized last week. It wasn't a shouting match in a courtroom, it was a series of quiet, brutal negotiations between our lawyers. Walter Chen was worth every penny. He presented our case with cold, undeniable facts: Lauren's premeditated infidelity, her documented abandonment of the marital home, and Kyle's clumsy attempt at intimidation. The final settlement was not a 50-50 split. The state we live in has a clause that allows for fault-based asset division under specific circumstances, and Walter argued that her actions constituted financial dissipation and deliberate abandonment. She walked away with her personal belongings, which I had meticulously boxed up and put in storage, the car her parents had bought her, and a small court-ordered portion of the joint savings. The final piece fell into place with the house. Since I had renewed the lease in my name alone and Lauren had legally vacated, the option to buy from our original lease was solely mine to exercise. The down payment I'd been carefully building in my personal account was untouched in the proceedings. Last month, I sat across from the landlord, now the seller, and signed the purchase papers. The house is mine now. Earned and secured. Not by what I had before we met, but by how I handled what came after she left. The fallout for them was, from what I've gathered, exactly what you'd expect. Lauren and Kyle are still together, living in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment in a less than desirable part of the city. Their combined finances are a disaster. His messy divorce drained him, and her freedom came at a much higher price than she anticipated. Kelly told me that the atmosphere at their workplace is toxic. They were both passed over for promotions they were expecting. Apparently, senior leadership doesn't appreciate employees who create HR nightmares and air their dirty laundry all over the office. Their performance of blissful happiness on social media has ceased. The most satisfying moment for me came unexpectedly. I was sitting on my new sofa last Tuesday, enjoying the silence, when I got an email from Spotify. "Your password has been changed." I hadn't changed it. I realized Lauren had still been using our family plan, a tiny, insignificant tether that I hadn't even remembered to cut. I logged in, saw her profile was still there, and with a few clicks removed her from the plan and reset the password again. It felt like changing a lock I didn't know was still open, a small, final click of a door closing. I don't hate her. I don't think about her much at all, to be honest. Hate is a hot emotion, and what I feel now is the cool indifference of a resolved issue. The house doesn't feel like a stage